Scrivener, Vellum, or Ulysses? Which one is the best one to choose and why? So today I'm going to walk you through all three and why I chose the one I did, and hopefully that will help you to make a decision on the best word processing software for you. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm a booktuber and author-tuber, and I also talk about TV. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday. Now today we are going to talk about Scrivener, Vellum, and Ulysses, and to me these are the top three word processing pieces of software that are out there on the market right now for writers. Now there's nothing wrong with Microsoft Word, but here's the problem with Microsoft Word. It is just one huge thing of text. Like, it is a long streaming end of text, and unless you understand how to put table of contents into a document, it's going to be really hard to do that. And even if you do, it's a pain. It's not really the easiest or most intuitive thing to set up. And quite honestly, the formatting to me in Microsoft Word always gets screwed up. I did do another video about Microsoft Word versus InDesign and which one to use for when, because InDesign is a page layout tool that you could use, but again, for word processing, I would not recommend it. So let's talk about Scrivener first. So Scrivener is what I have used forever, and that's pretty much because Vellum and Ulysses weren't around, and there was really nothing better on the market except Microsoft Word and some really weird programs that were free that were kind of iffy. The other big thing with Scrivener too is they had this huge promise how they were going to make a version for iPad, which they kind of sort of have one, but it doesn't work that well, and instead they spent time developing this bizarre thing called Scrapple, which I think some people like. I think it's a total waste. I don't know why they created it. But Scrivener to me is ugly. It's like, I can't stand looking at it. It's not very intuitive. It's really difficult to use. They're like, I think it was $2,000 for this one guy's course, and I still didn't really like it. And I mean, nothing wrong with him, but I just didn't like Scrivener even after taking that course. There's really no good preview mode if you want to see what it's going to look like on Kindle versus what it will look like if someone's reading on an iPad versus what it's going to look like in CreateSpace. And when I compile it, sometimes it turns out how I want, sometimes it doesn't. And I've also lost files. Like, I've actually had to put help desk tickets in with Scrivener because they have been updating the different versions, in which with each update, sometimes, for the most part, I would say 99% of the time my updates go through, but there were a couple files where I actually just lost the data, so that was pretty devastating. And we should talk about the cost. Scrivener, I think I purchased that for $59, and that is a lifetime access, so that's not bad, and I actually put it on multiple computers, even though I just have one license, but they don't really seem to police that too much, so that was nice about Scrivener. The second application is Vellum, and Vellum is for Mac only, and so is Ulysses. So I guess this is just for Mac, but let's be real. I don't know anyone who doesn't use Mac. I know probably PC people are probably like rolling their eyes at me right now, but I just love Mac. I think it's prettier. Obviously, that is the whole point of this thing, is that Vellum is prettier to look at. And so Vellum is an application that you can download from the App Store, and you actually don't have to pay for Vellum until you get something outputted, the right word, until you want to export something from the document, and that will give you, I think it's like $199, and then you have unlimited ability to export as many documents as you want versus doing one-off, which really doesn't make sense. But I guess it does make sense if you're just trying it out once just to see what it's like. But Vellum has the ability to do some formatting. It has some custom not integrations. It has some custom graphics that you can put in, like the little flower or a little, I don't know what it's called. It's like a sideways ampersand or whatever. I can't even, flourish or embellishment that goes underneath your chapter headings. So you can really, customize and make the book look like you want it to look without going too crazy. It does follow, standard book conventions. So that's something I really liked about Vellum, as well as the ability to preview it on, it's going to show you exactly what it's going to look like on a mobile device versus a Kindle device versus a desktop. So that was a huge advantage for Vellum. Now, again, Vellum does not work on the iPad, and they have said that they have no plans to put it on an iPad. The third product is Ulysses, and I really wanted to like Ulysses. Now, Ulysses does work on an iPad, so if you are like an iPad user, if you're unlike me and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa, typing on an iPad is the bomb, or maybe you have the quirky keyboard writer, which I actually have that too, but I still don't like typing on that as much as I do typing on my laptop. But the quirky keyboard writer is perfect if you are using Ulysses. Now, here's what I did not like about Ulysses. Ulysses is slightly better than Scrivener, nowhere near as pretty as Vellum. I think it's still kind of clunky. If you want to do any type of customizations or formatting inside Ulysses, you actually have to program it. Like, straight up, you have to learn how to program in Ulysses. Like, it has its own sort of proprietary programming language if you want things that are header 1 or header 2. Like, I found that crazy town. Like, I don't have time to learn new technologies, much less learn how to program in a book processing software. I'm here to write. I'm not here to learn how to process. So for that reason alone, I don't use Ulysses. But if I was a really big iPad user and I really like typing on that, then for sure I would probably learn how to use that. Now, Ulysses, I don't remember the price. That is priced just like Scrivener, and it is a subscription-based price, and you can download that from the App Store. So again, let's recap. Scrivener is a no, just because I think it's ugly and it's kind of clunky. There's not a lot of customization, and it doesn't always work how it's supposed to. And there's a huge learning curve. Second, Vellum, I love. It's only for Mac, but it doesn't have an iPad version. It's very affordable. It's $199 for unlimited exports, but you can do a lot of different customizations. And to me, it's just kind of more motivating to type and actually see it on book pages, if that makes sense. Like, you see a mock-up of what your words would look like on different pages. So you can be like, oh, I wrote 30 pages today. Whereas usually with Scrivener, you just write a long thing of text and you have like no idea how far along you've gotten. The third one is Ulysses, and Ulysses is perfect if you are going to be on an iPad and you like typing that way. Again, it's for Mac only, but you have the ability to take your iPad and interchange between that and your Mac. So that is a nice thing with Ulysses. However, if you want to do any customization, you have to do it yourself on Ulysses, and that to me is crazy town, that you have to learn a proprietary software just to do some customizations and bolding and formatting and things like that on Ulysses. So those are my top 3 reviews of the major word processing software. I definitely recommend Vellum. Again, unless you are really a diehard iPad user, then definitely look into Ulysses. And it should be noted, if you're like me and you were trying to go from Scrivener to Vellum, there is no easy way to export it. It says there's an easy way to export it. That is a lie. So you're going to have to, I literally just had to sit there and copy and paste between the two applications. There may have been an easier. I tried, it only imported the first chapter. It didn't import everything. So something to keep in mind too is maybe finish out your novel if you're like 90% of the way done on Scrivener, and then start a new one on Vellum. So that's kind of it. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you use and what you like, and maybe it's something new, and I would love to check that out as well. All right, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.